Hey everyone, Chris from Recombu here, and I'm here with Sony's brand new Xperia L1 smartphone, a new affordable Xperia, fresh for 2017. We're going to do a quick unboxing and take a look at the handset itself, get it all set up, and see exactly what you can expect. So first of all, the Xperia box, just like every other Xperia box we've unwrapped in the past sort of year or so. Nice plain white exterior, and then you open it up and you get some of that lovely unified design going on with all the swirly stuff and all the rest of it. Very lovely indeed. So the L1, it's going to be £150 when it hits the UK. It should be available imminently. 5.5 inch handset, very, very affordable indeed. And some quite sort of cut down specs, but still a lot of that lovely Sony design language, and should be solid for your sort of everyday performance anyway. So here's the handset itself. We'll take a full look at that in a second. Just check out what else you get inside the box. Let's prise this back. Lovely bit of literature there to keep you going. Warranty information, the rest. A nice bit of 3-pin plug action, delicious. And of course the USB cable for charging it is actually Type-C USB. Hooray! So you get a bit of that on the go. So that's nice, faster data connectivity and charging all the rest of it compared to the older style USB. And that's it in the box. Nothing particularly thrilling, so it'll be quite a short video, but let's actually get it all set up and check out the phone itself as well, to actually bump up the minute count a bit. So as you can see, in terms of the actual design, it's actually quite a nice looking phone. It doesn't quite have the same gorgeous stylings of the Xperia XA1, which is slightly more expensive at $229. So it doesn't have the same edge-to-edge screen or any of that stuff, but it does have that sort of slightly Sony premium feel. It's quite a tall phone for certain, and it's got that sort of near flat top and bottom design going on as well. So it actually looks quite attractive, kind of unique stylings for this price of handset. Doesn't look like your typical sort of plastic effort. It's got a nice textured feel to it as well. It's almost like a soft touch back from the plastic finish. So it certainly feels very nice in the hand. You can get it in a couple of different colours as well. Of course, it's as your typical review sample, it is the black one, so not great for showing off that one particular design. But of course, it's got the old SIM tray on the side here. In fact, it's not a tray; it's just a pull-out plug, and as you can see, you can stick in a SIM card and a micro SD memory card in there. On the back, of course, you get a 13 megapixel camera. It's actually fairly flush, only ever so slightly jutting from the surface there. Very nice indeed. Single tone LED flash. You get the power and the volume rocker on this side here. Up top there's the 3.5mm jack. Of course the tray on that side, and then down below you get the Type-C USB port and the speaker as well. So yeah, very nice. I just peel off the screen protector. So it's a 5.5 inch display. It's a 720p HD, so 1280 by 720 pixel resolution. So not quite a match for the 4K resolution Sony Xperia XZ Premium, but it is about a quarter, if not a fifth of the price of that bad boy. So should still be absolutely fine for your media and all the rest of it. It's not water resistant, unfortunately, as you would probably expect at this price point. Very few water resistant phones around the £150 mark. But it should hopefully prove quite rugged, especially with that sort of plastic finish. Hopefully we'll, yeah, as you see there, it's just taken my nail off quite nicely. Always good. Taken a little while to boot up. Unfortunately, it's a MediaTek processor, 1.45 gigahertz, quad core, the MT6737T chip, if you are particularly interested. Backed by 2 gigs of RAM, so it should hopefully provide decent performance, as we'll see when it eventually gets us into the setup process. Might have to do a bit of editing trickery here to avoid me just rambling for another 5 minutes. Right, the phone has finally got it to the welcome screen, which did take about 5 or 6 minutes. I did think it was knackered and was about to reset it, but here we go. We're ready to get set up. So get started. Lovely animated setup menu as usual. Great stuff, Sony. So yeah, I accept the important information. Get connected to the internet. I'll skip all that for now. Set up as a fresh device, and let's get onto the Wi-Fi. So there we are there. Support for 5 gigahertz networks, always good, so you can get that nice nippy internet connection. Okay, so we've got the option to obviously log into your Google account and all the rest of it, and just zipping through the rest of the setup. Unfortunately, there's no fingerprint sensor on the Xperia L1. It is very much a budget phone in that respect. There wasn't one on the Xperia either, of course, and that was more expensive. It's a bit of a shame because obviously you can get fingerprint sensors on cheaper handsets than this, like the Vodafone Smart N8, for instance, which we just unboxed as well, £85, and yet that does have a sensor, which is fantastic value for money, but sadly no such thing on this handset, so you're stuck with the usual PIN, or of course you can use Google's smart unlock, so you're using the rest of, for instance, if you're in a trusted place such as your home, or you're connected to a Bluetooth device such as your headphones, that can automatically unlock it as well. We'll just skip that for now. Google services, blah blah blah, all the usual terms and conditions, and then of course you've got Sony's own Xperia services, which we will skip as well for now, just in the also making this a swift video, and there we go, ready to go. Rainbows and joy, hooray. So finish that, and we're into Android Nougat, which is of course the Android OS of choice. Should hopefully get a full update to Android O in a timely fashion. And as you can see, of course, it's got Sony's usual overlay on the top of it as well, so I'll just add a bit of extra functionality. And of course that lovely unified design as well. Sadly it's not animated desktops, it's a static desktop, I'm guessing because of course it's a MediaTek processor and therefore a bit more limited. But never mind, you can set that up obviously however you like, set your own backgrounds and the rest of it. If we dive into the apps, as you can see, there's actually not that many pre-installed, which is always good. It's not filled with crapware like a lot of budget phones are. So you just get the usual Google efforts, of course, like maps and photos and all the rest of it. Kobo eBooks is a random little addition there. You can buy my books on there, go check those out. I heartily recommend them. Amazon Shopping, Spotify comes pre-installed, and of course a few little Sony bits like their own custom photos and video things. You do get some repetition, unfortunately. You've now got like 2 photo apps, a couple of music apps, a couple of video apps and the rest of it. But hey-ho, that's how it goes. If we dive into the settings, be able to discover a bit more about the phone. So for instance, storage-wise, it should have 16 gigabytes of storage. So we just check that out. 43% already used. Holy shit! So there's not going to be much space available at all then from the off. 6.96 gig used of 16 gigs. So you get less than 10 gigabytes to actually use for your own stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing it's got that micro SD support, and thankfully it supports sorry, I'll start this bit again. Thankfully it supports memory cards of up to 256 gigs as well. So that's good expandability. You can get a mass media collection, store loads of photos and video on there, so that's always handy. Of course you get Smart Cleaner and everything on there as well, as you just saw too, so that helps you to clear out the cache and all that other crap that gets sort of piled up on your handset. Battery, it's a 2620 milliamp battery, so hopefully should get a full day of use quite easily out of that, especially as MediaTek chipsets don't tend to be very demanding on the old battery. But of course you do get stamina mode and ultra stamina mode for super prolonging it, so you should be able to get at least a couple of days using those bad boys. What else to tell you about? Of course, Type-C charging and all the rest of it as well. I don't think it supports any form of quick charge or anything, and I'm pretty sure the Qnovo battery tech isn't on board either, but don't put a gun to my head and hold me account on that one. Right, in terms of the rest of it, I think that's about it really. Display-wise, so if we dive into that, you'll see you don't have the likes of Sony's Super Vivid mode or anything like that, unfortunately, because of course this is a budget handset. But at 720p, it seems to be a reasonably decent panel for the sort of budget price, as you can see there. Nice sharp icons, no pixelation or anything like that. Colours not super vibrant, but not dull and lifeless either, so hopefully should do the job nicely. And of course, you know, I mean, this is a mobile phone that's designed for more sort of budgetary use, but with a nice bit of design, nice feel to it and everything as well. So as you can see, so far, touch wood, the MediaTek processor's handling life all right, but we are expecting the odd stutter and stammer as we use it as our full-time handset. Of course, stay tuned for our full camera review and all the rest of it coming very soon. And speaking of the camera, it is a 13 megapixel rear camera if we just aim it over in this direction. So yeah, let's save the location and all the rest of it. And of course, if you've used a Sony phone in recent times, you'll notice that it's your typical Sony interface, camera interface. So it's got full autofocus, obviously, you can just snap away as is. Bit of a delay there in terms of the processing and everything, but hopefully shouldn't be anything too bad. It seems to take snaps reasonably quickly once you hit the shutter button. You can of course fully autofocus if desired. and it should be reasonably nippy, knowing Sony's typical sort of autofocus tech. It's usually pretty good stuff. If you swipe down, or up rather, you get full manual mode, so you can pull out this, and as you can see, you've got full control of white balance, shutter speed, all that kind of stuff as well, which is lovely if you want a very precise kind of shot, feel a bit more confident about it all. It's not full superior auto mode, unfortunately. It's just a standard auto mode, so probably won't be quite as good at capturing those gorgeous shots in more tricky conditions. But hopefully should do the job. As you can see there, it's switching between various modes as I move the phone about. And you can of course shoot up to full HD video as well, so we just dive into the settings menus here. Video resolution currently at the top level, full HD 30 frames per second, and of course you've got some other, I'm guessing there's no optical image stabilization or anything like that involved, and in fact it doesn't look like there's any sort of serious digital image stabilization either, but you do get a bit of object tracking, so we'll be testing that one out. Dive back out of the settings, and then that's your whack. There's no extra bonus modes, no weird AR modes or anything like that to speak of. So a fairly sort of streamlined, straightforward camera experience, but hopefully that 13 megapixel camera will take some nice snaps. It's an f2.2 aperture lens, so again in low light it's probably going to suffer a bit, but you know what, for the price it'll probably do the job for your everyday basic family snaps and the rest. And around the front there's a 5 megapixel camera as well. So that in a nutshell is the Sony Xperia L1. Definitely a nice bit of design. It's got a nice feel to it. Nice. Despite the fact that it's a 5.5 incher, it's actually not too huge. And certainly, if you want a sort of a decent everyday handset, this will hopefully do the job. So, as I say, stay tuned for our full reviews and everything. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.